Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a periodic timer that measures how long it takes to get back to a customer and then continues or restarts itself every time you get back to it. It starts measuring the clock again. So the way that we can kind of make this work inside of Zendesk is using the SweetHawk timers app. And as you can see here, this is what it looks like. On the right hand side of the ticket, we have the timer started. It got stopped 12 minutes ago, and that's when it got restarted. It's currently going to end in 19 minutes. If I give another update, here is your next update, then that will automatically cause the timer to stop again and then restart. So you'll see that happen in a sec. There we go, restarted, it stopped and restarted, and now it ends in 30 minutes again. So how do we set this up? Let's have a look at the flow. So the flow is you have a trigger in the timers app to start the timer, a trigger to stop the timer, and a workflow within the timers app confirming once the timer is stopped, add a tag which will cause the start trigger to fire again. It's important that you have that check because if you were to try and remove the timer's workflow element out of that and just say, okay, the stop timer trigger is going to add the tag, it would actually cause both triggers to fire at the same time, and it would break in Zendesk. So as in, like, there would be a race condition, your timer wouldn't it would sometimes start, but it would sometimes not start. So you need to have that check in place. And so I'll show you how to set that up. If we jump over into our app here, we're looking for the timers app on the left-hand side. We're going to look firstly at the workflow that I just kind of mentioned here. So you can set up your own workflows that fire based off of things happening on the timer. Here we have a periodic kind of timer workflow that is saying when the timer stops, add the tag periodic update SLA stopped. So once you have that workflow created, it's that's all you need. Then create your periodic timer, and let's have a look at this periodic timer. We've just given it a name, description, the time between updates by an agent, give it a duration, and select the workflow that you've just created that the timer is going to run on. The last part of setting this up is to get the triggers right. So we've got a start trigger and a stop trigger. You do not need to create a pause trigger or a resume trigger. So if we go and have a look at our start trigger here, we'll be able to see that the start trigger is looking for the tag, periodic update SLA stopped, and that the ticket is not solved. So we don't want this timer to be restarted after the ticket is marked as solved. And then the actions, as you can see here, this is when you click on create trigger for the starter, this action is automatically applied as part of the trigger. So you don't have to worry about this. It's just starting at the right time, and then you set up to remove the tag periodic update SLA stopped. And finally, the stop trigger. So the stop trigger is looking for the desired behavior that you want on the ticket. In this case, it is when the agent provides a public response. So comment is public, current user is agent, and the tags doesn't contain the periodic update SLA is stopped. Probably can remove this rule here. That's cool. And then the action is to stop the timer. Note that we are not adding the tag back. As previously stated, we don't add the tag back on this trigger because it'll cause the other trigger to fire at the same time. We let it stop, and then we loop back around to our workflow here, which then goes, okay, the timer has indeed stopped, add the tag, cause the start trigger to run again, and it loops. So yes, that is how you can set up a periodic timer. There's obviously extra things you can do within this flow. This is just the mechanism on how to set it up. For example, if I wanted to say 5 minutes before the timer stops, add a warning, add a tag, put a comment in the ticket, I could do all that. You know, if we're looking for things to happen when the timer breaches, we can do that based off of when the timer timer ended ticket update. So there's lots of other things you can do, but this video is specifically around how to get the periodic timer workflow to work. Thanks for watching. Let us know if you've got any questions. Email us at support@sweethawk.com.